Welcome back. For the first time in decades, Bloomington has a new city manager. He started with the city in February, and right now I have City Manager Jamie Verbrugge with me in studio. Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me, Laura.
I know it's only been a few months, but how are things going so far?
Well, everybody has been extremely welcoming, which I didn't expect anything different, but it's still reassuring coming into a new environment. The staff at the City of Bloomington has just been great. The community members have been willing to embrace me with open arms, so that reception has made it a lot easier going into a new environment because, as I'm sure you know and a lot of people in the community know, this is a big community and there are a lot of issues going on. So there's a lot to learn, and when people are friendly and welcoming, it makes the learning a lot easier.
Definitely. And so I guess, what are you looking forward to as you kind of dive into the job and get more familiar with the city?
Well, I laid out 3 goals coming in. The first was, in the first year, really working hard to develop a strong working relationship with our city council to make sure that their needs are being met as elected officials and as policymakers for the community, and to make sure that we get sort of a good working relationship going so we understand each other's styles. That's been going well. They're a very good group to work with. The second was to develop a good working relationship with our executive team members, the directors and the direct reports for the city manager. So that's going smoothly. And then the third was to get out and start meeting the key partners in the community, the superintendent and our chamber director and a number of other people. And those folks have been just great to work with as well.
Sounds like it's been going pretty smoothly then. I know we had the State of the City address in March. You had only been with the city for a little over a month, so I know the mayor kind of took over a lot of that, but you spoke to, I guess, what are some of the highlights or what are some topics you really think residents should be aware of from that address?
Well, first and foremost is that residents, I think, already know that they get tremendous value for the taxes that they pay. And they have excellent services provided by the staff at the City of Bloomington, and I think they have excellent representative leadership from their city council. And those council members take their responsibility to make spending decisions very seriously, and the taxes that they levy are extremely reasonable. A homeowner in Bloomington for a median valued home pays less than just about all of our peer communities. And then you think about what are the great services we get for that, and you pay less on a monthly basis for your home in Bloomington than you might for cell phone service or your gas or electric bill. And you think of all the services that you get, police and fire and a whole lot of other work on behalf of you. Your streets are plowed, right? So all of those things that make people's lives easier, that provide for quality of life here in Bloomington, that's done at a very, very reasonable price. So first and foremost, that's the thing that I think people should know. The financial strength of this community is exceptional. And then the other thing that I've discovered is there are a number of what we call hometown heroes here. So we talk about all of the heroes that we know who have come from the community, or the Kent Herbecks of the world, and I was a big Kent Herbeck fan. But more importantly, we have everyday heroes who are living here in Bloomington. And so part of the fun of the State of the City is getting to highlight those individuals and the great thing that they do to volunteer within the community and to serve our community. So that was a lot of fun. And it was also just a really nice opportunity to be able to address the business community and to let them know that I'm excited to be a working partner with them to make sure that the city is being responsive to their needs and that we're trying to create a really good business environment here in the city of Bloomington, because it's not just about having residential neighborhoods that are strong. We need to have a business community that's strong to have a really totally vibrant community.
And I hear community a lot. You use that word a lot, and I think in a good way the few times I've talked with you. I guess, what do you think the important role community plays in partnership with city government?
Well, let me flip that question around and say, what's the role of government in community? And I really feel strongly that our role is to act as a facilitator and to act as a connector, right? And so there are individual elements of our community that can be very successful on their own, but they can leverage their own success and be even more successful when they have relationships with other sectors. So North Hennepin Community College can be very successful on its own. But when you get them working with the chamber, and you get them working with Bloomington schools, and you get them working with our nonprofits, that just increases the extent of their reach. And so if you take that example and then you apply it to any business, or you apply it to a nonprofit, you start to see that as you make these connections in the community, you weave a web, right? It's almost like a net, right? And so I hate to say a safety net, but what it does is it creates a real strong net within the community to make sure that nobody in the community is falling through.
Just to wrap up, I know you're kind of at the beginning of, taking over, but what are some of your short and long-term goals as city manager for the city?
Well, for the city, the goals are really what the council has identified as priorities, and so we have a couple of really important issues right away. One is the business survey that's going out. So I've mentioned a couple times the importance of working with our business community and with our chamber members. So there's a survey in the field that will be looking to the business community, give their perceptions of Bloomington, and try to understand what their needs are to be more successful and how we can serve them better. We have an initiative right now regarding organized collection. And so in the next couple months, I think that residents will see a lot more information about that. And the idea here is that we would potentially be able to negotiate a better price on solid waste hauling for all of the residents in Bloomington. Now, I know there are some people in Bloomington who love to negotiate, right? They go to the car lot and they try to shake the dealer down and get every penny out of that vehicle, or they like to go and haggle with store owners to get the best price. Not everybody likes to do that. And so what we have is a pretty wide disparity among our residents in terms of what they pay for trash hauling. And so what the council is investigating is whether we can use the tremendous buying power of 26,000 residential properties in Bloomington to try and drive really good value in the pricing for solid waste. So that's coming in organized collection. And then we have a number of other issues that are, I wouldn't say super important, but they're things that, it's just the standard grist of the mill, right? Long term, I think that continuing to develop a strong working relationship with the Bloomington schools is going to be really important. And so just had breakfast with the superintendent again this morning, and the board and the council will be getting together for another joint meeting. And so we're going to continue to talk about what are those interests that are in common for all of us and figure out how we can continue to make a difference.
All right, lots of exciting things to look forward to, and thank you, Jamie, for being here and talking with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, and we will be back after this short break.